So let's see if we can give you guys a good understanding of the location of the major muscles. And it probably is worth sort of stressing here that we are talking about major muscles here. There's a lot more detail if you want to take this further in your studies, if you want to really get into this. I personally have had an obsession around this topic for probably 25 years, which of course makes me a slightly odd individual, but it is a really fascinating area of study. So if you want to go further, I encourage you to do so. With that in mind, I really want you to focus on spellings today, guys, okay? So really, some of these are going to be sort of going towards like scientific spellings and so on. And I really want you to focus on accuracy as much as you possibly can when recording these and producing your materials for your assignment. All right, so first things first, let's get going. I want to introduce you to the deltoid. Okay, so here is our friend, the deltoid. You might know it as the shoulder muscle. And it's this muscle here, okay? I can also sketch it on the back. It's this muscle here. And you can see it on the side. It's this muscle here, okay? So if I see if I can actually fill all of those in. See if I... that was a mistake, by the way. You're going, oh no, that didn't work. Hang on, let me undo that. Let me see if I do that a bit better. Just bear with me a second. I'm gonna just close this off there. There's my deltoid there. That will do. Well, I'm going to give up on shading, I think. There's my deltoid there. We've got it on the back, or the posterior view. We've got it on the side. So it's the shoulder muscle. Lovely. Let's go further. Let's talk about the bicep, okay? And I'm actually going to show you the bicep over here on the side view. Now, the bicep is here, okay? Just bear in mind, it's also this little muscle here. Oh, I've gone a bit far, but there's actually two heads to it, okay? So there's the bicep just there. It has two heads to the muscle, hence of the bar bit. So it's the bicep just on the front of the arm that actually produces flexion at the elbow, which is an interesting movement in and of itself. Now, we're also interested in the tricep, and I'm going to show you tricep this time on the posterior or the back view of the body. The tricep is here. And the tricep is here, okay? And it comes down and inserts down here and down here, okay, onto the forearm. So we got our tricep, the back of our other upper arm. The tricep is really important from the perspective of elbow extension. I'm going to talk about that in other tutorials. Now, this big muscle over here, if I sort of sketch it in green, just inside the deltoid here and here, these are called the pectorals, or I'm going to specifically call these the pectoralis major. Just one point of reference here. You've got, if I just go here and here, you've got the pectoralis major visible that I've just sketched around, but also bear in mind there are other pectoral muscles that actually lie beneath there, but we're interested in the pectoralis major. Now, to the back of the body now, let's focus on what we're going to refer to as the Latissimus Dorsi muscle, okay? The Latissimus Dorsi muscle, that's this wing-shaped muscle on the back, and it also includes this bit here, okay? So there's the latissimus on this side, and here it is on this side, okay? So this is the Latissimus dorsi on the back here. Really important for like pulling the shoulders down. Imagine you've got like imagine you're weight training in the gym and you've got a pulley above you and you pull the bar downwards towards your shoulder blades. That's the muscle that's doing the majority of the work there, the Latissimus dorsi. Now, another big set of muscles here. This muscle all the way to here. This on this side, it's the same on the other side. These are called your external obliques. Now, a couple of things about the external obliques. These are not your six-pack. That's actually your abdominals, which lie underneath. But the external obliques also have internal obliques that lie beneath them. Okay, but we can consider them to be kind of stomach core muscles. Okay, these are the external obliques. The same on the other side. I've just sketched in one side. To the back of the body again. We're interested now in the gluteus. The gluteus maximus, the old butt muscles, okay? So really big, powerful muscle here. We've got muscle here, and we've got muscle here. These are your gluteus maximus. So if I go here, if I go off and say gluteus maximus, just there, and obviously two of them. Yeah, like your buttocks, for want of a better phrase, okay? Now, you might think, well, muscle, really? Yeah, these muscles are really important. If this person pushed this leg back to here, it would be the gluteus maximus doing that work, pulling that leg back in that direction. So really important muscle for lots and lots of sports, including running, by the way. Okay, so gluteus maximus, very, very strong muscle. Really important that you connect your gluteus maximus when you're doing things like running-based activities. If you're a footballer, a hockey player, an athlete, these things are really, really important. Let's talk about the quadricep. The quadricep, as the name might suggest, is a muscle group. Okay, and there's actually 4 muscles inside the quadricep, but we are talking about this muscle group on the front of the upper thigh, or the front of the thigh here. Now, there happen to be 4. I mean, I can name them if you really. I'll name them really fast for you. Don't write them down. Rectus femoris, rectus femoris, vastus medialis, vastus intermedius, vastus. What have I said? Vastus lateralis. Okay, so there are 4 muscles in there. You don't need to know them at this point. Quadricep is what we need to know. Now, they are responsible for extension of the knee. Okay, so lots and lots of movements that do that. We also have, let me do this over here. I'll actually do this over here. We also have the hamstring group. And so you can call them the hamstrings. Okay, and they are here on the back of the upper thigh. You can actually, if I was to circle around, there's actually a third one just under here. Actually 3 muscles at the back of the thigh. These are called your hamstrings. They, this time, flex your knee, not your hip. They're not extending your hip. They're flexing your knee, bending your knee. That's what the hamstrings do. So again, really important for sporting movements. Very nearly there, folks. We're interested now in the gastrocnemius. What a word. Gastrocnemius. That's an I in there. I haven't written it very well. Now, this muscle here is the gastrocnemius. Back of the calf. Now, I want you to notice here that that calf connects back down onto the heel here. Now, I'm not going to name, I'll name the bone. It connects to the calcaneus, it doesn't matter. But what this muscle does is when it contracts and shortens, it actually points your toes downwards. So a really important muscle for things like running actions, any kind of jumping, for example. So gastrocnemius, super, super important. And last muscle for today, I'm sure you're feeling a bit overwhelmed with all these new muscle names, but I'm going to introduce you to the tibialis anterior. Now, you may even have heard me say the word anterior a couple of times and posterior today. Anterior simply means the front of the body. And we've got the front of the body along the tibia. So where could that be? Well, the tibialis anterior is here. Okay, is here on the front of the body. And that muscle actually works to actually pull the toes upwards, as if you're kind of crunching your toes towards your shin. So important muscle for all kinds of processes. They're the location of the major muscles. Obviously, you need to process these, you need to learn them, you need to get them down onto your assignment materials ready for submission. But guys, can I just re-stress this point? Please be specific with your spelling. It's perfectly achievable to get the spelling right, especially with a little bit of feedback. So really focus on that. There we go. Cheers.